Hi everybody, Richard here at Calvin Wazoo, bringing you another video, and it's number 11 in the series of recent finds. And like the title says, it's psychedelic, baby. So trying to catch up with these, and I will go through, you know how I usually do my needle drops. Well, one of the records that, in fact, the first one I'm going to talk about, can't do a needle drop on it at all because the copywriters have completely blocked. It's not that I can't, collect any revenue from it, that they would collect all the revenue from the video. They've just blocked it worldwide. Nobody could see, my little snippet of a song of theirs, which is too bad because the band is Khruangbin. And this is an eponymous release from 2019. Khruangbin is a Texas trio. The name is Thai for airplane, and I believe they're from Texas. I'm not sure, but I think they're from Austin. Now, this particular release is an exclusive Japanese release of early singles, and of course, like many besides the OB, it does have both English. This particular pressing, does have the English titles and the Japanese titles. And the first, all of side one and the first song, the infamous Bill on side two, are all Khruangbin compositions. However, the other ones on the side are compositions by other people. There are covers that they did, including one that was by Ennio Morricone, which is Il Clan dei Siciliani. But, it's too bad I couldn't play one of their songs. I mean, the first one I recorded, I came up, and when I tested it on YouTube, they said it was blocked. Then I tried another one and of their compositions, because the one I picked was Hafeng Kang, and that is a cover by someone else. And so I thought, well, maybe it's because of cover, that's why it's being blocked. So I did the single A Calf Born in Winter, which is a Khruangbin composition, but no, that was blocked as well. So yeah, really annoying. It is a sort of collectible record already, very pricey. The only reason I got it was a place had it for sale for $100, and then they were doing 20% off. So it was $80. So I still ended up paying $80 for it. So even with the 20% off, and right now the going rate is well above $100. It is a limited edition, although I don't remember how many copies it was limited to. So unfortunately, I don't have a needle drop for you on that one. The other ones I do, however. And the next one is this band of Turkish expatriates living in the Netherlands, and that is Altin Gun. And this is their 2023 release, Ask. And on the back, you see here, the majority of them are Turkish immigrants who are now residing in the Netherlands. I think there's maybe one or two members who are Dutch. And they play a very, very interesting psychedelic style of traditional Turk folk songs. And the needle drop I'm going to play for you is one called Lelimle. very much kind of a little bit of a gypsy feel, but also you can still get the Turkish feel, and then the psychedelic style of playing. I'm excited because in July 15th, I'm going to be seeing them here in Chicago playing in Thalia Hall. Now, I have all their vinyl releases. They do have one release that I don't have, but that's because it's only available on a FLAC file, and it was released as part of a environmental awareness kind of thing where, if you bought it from Bandcamp, and the name of the recording is Alem, if you get it from Bandcamp as a FLAC file, they're donating, I forget what the ratio is, but it's about land preservation. So they're working to do some land preservation. It's like a 50-50 or even trade, based on the number of copies. And so I suppose, selling them or offering them only on a FLAC file, that really reduces production costs. But frankly, I would want to have it on vinyl. But anyway, I have all their other releases on vinyl, and I am very excited about seeing them next month. This is also a very, very cool color variant that this is released on. I mean, just really very cool, psychedelic-like multicolored pressing. This orange with some really cool, I don't know, blotches or splotches, and then a bit of a rainbow going on with the label. So that's Altin Gun. Now, the next band is one that I've talked about before. And in fact, on the Gunkles, we reviewed one of their albums, a different one, not this particular one. And that is the band Kikagaku Moyo. And this is the album Kumoyo Island. So this is a 2022 release, and they're a Japanese psychedelic band that are on the Guru Guru Brain label. And this is their last album. It's a very good album. All their albums have really fantastic artwork. But they're no longer making records under the name Kikagaku Moyo. I don't even know if they're going to be making other records. I presume they will, because they've been, making music for quite a while. The needle drop I have for you on this one is Dancing Blue. Really fantastic, psychedelic, sometimes, way out there. Masana Temples, which is the one that we reviewed for the Gunkles, is a better one. It's a better release than this one, but this is still a very, very, very solid album. It's a little more withdrawn, perhaps, than the Masana Temples, which was a little bit, more intense. All right, here's another band that I have talked about before, and it was one of those bands that, wow, this is just too weird to pass up. And after I listened to them online, it was like, yeah, this is the This is up my alley. And the band is the Master Musicians of Bukkake. And this is Totem 2, all right, released in 2010. Now, the other one I did was Totem 3, which was released, and I can't remember when that one was released. There are 3 in the series, Totem 1, Totem 2, and Totem 3, although the band has, or collective you could say, has many other releases besides these particular ones. This one really helped me get a better grasp and understanding of what they were doing with Totem 3. Totem 3 is probably the better one than Totem 2, but Totem 2 is really, really good. And I would only say that Totem 3 is a little bit better because it's a little livelier, where this has is very much in the vein of drone type music, very repetitive rhythms in playing, but it's still really good. The needle drop I'm going to play for you is the song Coincidentia Oppositorium. So you get a little idea here, but each song is sort of a very internal journey. So as I said, this album helped me understand Totem 3 better because it begins with a song called Bardo. Well, Totem 3 begins with a song called Bardo. And although the Bardo might have a different like subtitle to it, for example, this one is Bardo Konyid, and then Totem 3 has a different Bardo, and then Totem 1 has a different Bardo. So when I saw this, I started thinking, okay, Bardo, what's going on here? Isn't that like, I know that term, and sure enough, Bardo is a Buddhist term, although it's mostly associated with Tibetan Buddhism. And while I practice Buddhism, I tend to not really get into Tibetan Buddhism or mystical Buddhism or some of these other vehicles with Buddhism. I stick pretty much with the Four Noble Truths in the basics. If it's too much like religion to me, then it's, I look at Buddhism as a way of living, a guide for living, and not a religion. So that's why I kind of avoid Tibetan Buddhism and a lot of Mahayana Buddhism. But anyway, Bardo is a very much part of Tibetan Buddhism. And in fact, the book, Tibetan Book of the Dead, is a guidebook to help a dying person go through their Bardo. Because the Bardo is that existence, that plane of existence between death and rebirth. And if one doesn't keep their concentration, so to speak, or don't lose themselves in the Bardo, then they can increase the odds of a human rebirth as opposed to being reborn as an animal or something like that. Anyway, that's why I don't really pay a lot of attention to all that, because it's too magical, mystical for me. But anyway, the music the rest of the music after the bardo sort of exemplifies the next rebirth, calling to the mind that is lost in the bardo. So to help it emerge into a happy state amidst all the chaos that's going on while being in the bardo state. Now, none of this is taken very seriously by the band or by me, for that matter. It's just to be enjoyed in the very spaced out psychedelic vibes and sort of relax, and emerge from your bardo. Track 2 is called Paredi Kaldirma, which has this very methodic droning beat, and with this flute sort of fluttering all over the place over this very dirge-like beat, very constant. And that's all of side 1. And then with side 2 opens with the Heresy of Origin, which is a very ominous and dark song. It's with this pipe organ. The pipe organ is providing the foundation in the track. And it's almost Wagnerian in grandiosity. And then comes a song that I did the needle drop, which is, again, Coincidentia Oppositorum. And this, if you kind of caught it, the way I hear it, it's, to me, very much like a film score that is based around a scene of really great importance and tragedy. That the protagonist in the film has suffered some kind of incredible loss, but must find the courage to persevere and accomplish what he must set out to do so that the others didn't die in vain. So it's like totally over the top, but it still manages to pull at your emotions despite being so, to me, overwhelmingly cliched. It just works really well. And for me, I can still sense their tongue firmly in cheek, but yet they're presenting this really incredible music. Then comes the Crystal Reformation, which has this distorted guitar droning that's over some humming electronic instrumentation, perhaps a mellotron, I'm not quite sure. There's also this like metallic clinking going on in the background. And then the closing song is called Patmos, which begins kind of almost mainstream kind of way. It adds some soothing but rather weird vocals that's almost like chanting. It's very melodic and drone-like, as I say. And then it has this odd break, like a bridge, so kind of. And it's almost like a warning or a signal to kind of make you aware of something else being present. And then it returns to this previous very soothing drone that's going on. It's kind of like maybe approaching daybreak, but with a little more electronic instrumentation. So being the closing song, I'm wondering, is this the moment then of rebirth, or are we approaching the moment of rebirth? So regardless, this is, I really am happy that I stumbled upon this particular group. And, the name of the collective, they're from Seattle, or the Seattle area, Master Musicians of Bukkake. Really interesting stuff, and I am looking forward to finding more of their catalog. Okay, and then the final one is a classic psychedelic band, been around for ages, and it's the Grateful Dead. And this is the History of the Grateful Dead, Volume 1, Volume 1, Bear's Choice. And this is the 50th anniversary remaster that was released this year, 2023. The original is from 1973, which I have on, well, it wouldn't be an original because it was 1973, but I have it on CD. But anyway, now, of course, this is Bear's Choice. That's a reference to Owsley Stanley, who was also known as Bear, who was the sound engineer for the band, as well as being the band's chemist, famous for Owsley acid. Fascinating story, book. Do I have it handy? I should have probably pulled it before. I don't have it handy. There's a fascinating biography about Owsley Stanley, who almost did go into the chemical industry because he was very gifted when it came to chemistry, and was known for making perhaps the purest LSD in the world. It was even considered by the chemists in Sandow's in Switzerland to be just as pure, or perhaps even of higher quality than the LSD they were producing. And anyway, these all these live songs were recorded by Owsley Stanley. And side 1 is an acoustic side, then side 2 has just 2 songs that are Electric, Smokestack Lightning, and Hard to Handle. And the needle drop I'm going to play for you is from Smokestack Lightning. This says Pigpen on it also, and now that I think about it, I'm wondering, is this like the last recording that was available, Pigpen, that was released at the time before Pigpen died? I don't remember. But anyway, really nice sounding. It's, as I say, remastered with this 50th anniversary issue. It's black vinyl. I don't know if there are color variants available. There might be. But anyway, there you go. Those are my selections for my recent finds, issue or version, episode number 11 with the psychedelic music. Leave a comment in the down under. Please like and subscribe. Remember that I am on Instagram as NewsDude76, that's NEWZDUDE76. And always remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.